100 days ago, I set out to transform a 30-year-old camper into our new home on wheels. Little did I know, this project would be a massive undertaking. But after months of what felt like struggle and setbacks, this week, the space finally started to feel like a home. In this build, I'm doing something I've never attempted before. Let's talk cabinets. I played it safe in my last two builds. The first being a van where I had painted white wood shaker-style cabinets, which are a nightmare if you have a dog. And in the second, I copped out and went with some IKEA cabinets to try to get my bust done as quickly as possible. But this time around, I'm planning on having the camper for the long run, which meant finally doing exactly what I wanted. Since I'll be leaving the camper entirely wood, I'm using maple and birch, it's really important to consider what the grain is going to look like, since that's the finished face. With that in mind, I've decided to tackle a really challenging type of cabinet. Something that's taken out of one piece of wood so all of the grain matches throughout the entire cabinet. The benefit to this, aside from looking super cool, is that I'm going to save on weight without having separate wood faces and money, since I only have to buy one sheet of plywood per face. It's a process with a massive learning curve. All in all, I think this process of learning took us 2 days. And this is a great time to mention a note. A lot of you have been asking how I learn things, and this is how. By working with my dad. He has helped me on every single build, and a lot of my technical skills, the ones that you guys see each week carefully edited to show the best parts, were taken from him. He worked in construction and carpentry basically his whole life, and I'm so grateful to not only have his knowledge, but his support both emotionally and physically on all of my builds. So, thanks, Dad. After a few trial runs and feeling much more confident about our skills, we set out to start cutting the new upper cabinet faces. But as all builds go, nothing really ever goes to plan or takes as long as you think it's going to, and we managed to break our first router bit. While it wasn't in our plans to stop early for the day, it ended up working out really well as my parents had brought home over 7,000 pounds of rock and pebbles earlier that day to help finish up the side yard of their house. So we switched tasks and were able to get a project done that they had wanted to do for a really long time. And it felt really nice to be able to give back to them, even just a little bit, as a thank you for everything that they do for me every week. In just a few hours, and with just a couple of sore muscles, we really were able to transform the entire side of that house. And I'm really stoked with how it came out and hope that they are too. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Where's your ball, huh? Where's your ball? Come on, put it in here. I'll give you a big one. Ready?
Typically, cabinets like these, which I'm so sorry, I wish I had a name for, but I can't find anything to look them up by, would be done by a machine called a CNC machine. Now, in this case, we don't have a CNC machine as they typically cost thousands of dollars and are really only owned by businesses. And so what we did instead was used a router with an 1/8 inch bit to give ourselves a really tiny relief around what would be the doors for the cabinets. This allowed us to be really precise, but it did take a lot of time and multiple passes for each door. So honestly, doing one cabinet took most of the afternoon. Because not only did the actual process of routering these out take a long time, but honestly, the most intense part was pretending we were a machine. We had to make exact templates for every size cabinet that we made, which took the longest time of all of the steps, if I'm being honest.